So head of L&D here at Keyloop. If you haven't heard of us, and that won't be unusual, we're a global tech company working purely in the automotive retail sector. So if you've ever bought a car, booked a service, taken a test drive, you may have been using, or the dealership may have been using our software. We came into being in 2021 after a carve out from a much larger American organisation. We were bought by a private equity company, Francisco Partners. And since then, we've gone through a huge amount of change. And I think that's where coaching has really helped. The change has been significant. We've moved from a completely new executive team, from a country model to a functional model, completely new leadership team, and we've acquired 8 more companies. That's a lot in 4 years. And Thrive, I believe our partnership with Thrive, which we've had for a number of years, has really helped people navigate those changes and that significant transformation in terms of strategy, velocity, and that's even before we think about AI. Let's not even talk about AI today. We've provided all of our 2,700 plus key loopers with access to Thrive coaching. We've taken a truly democratized approach, and I think that's really helped us kind of navigate that change and keep us on that journey together. The aim really for this partnership is to drive a culture of growth, well-being, accountability and high performance. And so what we've looked at from an ROI perspective, all those measures should be aligning with that. So what have we been doing? This is not perfect. We're on a journey, but it's, as Minna said, it's really important to be proving to our CFO and our exec team that it is worth the money. This is, for us, it's 1/7 of my annual budget we spend on Thrive. So I need to be able to improve that, to prove that impact and ROI from that cost. I'm not massively a data person, so I've had to get comfortable with the uncomfortable of this, but I am very fortunate that I have a fantastic head of HR data and analytics who I work with really, really closely and has helped me work on some of this and continues to. We use the insights from the Thrive platform that Minna talked about. We also look for those testimonials to show that individual value it's giving. And we also look at our engagement survey that I'll talk you through in a moment, as well as some key organisational metrics linked to growth, linked to EBITDA, and also our people in terms of attrition, recruitment, and so on. So let's talk you through, let's go through the personal value first of all. Now we get all of the feedback from Thrive that comes through automatically, which is really helpful, and we use it all the time to advertise that we have these sessions. But what I've been intentionally looking for is spontaneous testimonials. So when people are posting, and we haven't asked them to post at all, when they're actually posting on our internal comms platform about their experiences of using the platform. I just picked 3 that I just found yesterday as I had a quick look. I could have posted way more. But I think this is really interesting because as much as I can bang on about using coaching and how important coaching is, you know that there are people who are listening to you going, well, of course you would say that, Michelle, because you're the head of L&D. It's your job to advocate for it. It's so much more valuable and impactful when people out there using the service are advocating for it. So when people do that, I make sure I keep that. It's part of the storytelling when we're proving ROI to show that people value it, that people are getting impact from it, and people are advocating for it. And every time we see these testimonials, I add them to my list because we'll invite them to be people to come to our webinars that we run jointly to talk about their stories in a little bit more detail. Every time we see these, every time we have those webinars, we see more people register, we see more people sign up for sessions, which I think is great. As we move on, let's have a little look. One of the things Minna mentioned was engagement surveys. We pulse survey our people once a month, every single month. So we've got a huge amount of data in this platform. We use Workday Peakon for anyone who's interested. And we track a number of drivers. Now, I actually have eight drivers in that survey that I'm tracking and looking for growth in. These are the four I picked out to talk through today. They are the employee NPS, our health and wellbeing driver, our growth driver, and our goal setting driver. I've tracked these since Keyloop came into being, so since 2021. And you can see every single one of them is up. For those of you who know NPS, it's really hard to score really well on. So I'm super proud of all of these scores. So our eNPS is up 12 points, up to +37, health and wellbeing up 21, growth up 16, and goal setting up 12 points. The reason I pick those is because actually some of the sessions bookings that we're seeing, these are things coming up: health and wellbeing, growth, career advancement, and thinking about what do I do next? How do I set the right goals? Are topics we see people booking on a huge amount. So we're tracking these drivers since Keyloop came into being. We know a number of other things are contributing to the increase in this, but we equally see from the feedback that actually Thrive is a huge contributor to this in terms of the coaching sessions. As part of the employee pulse survey, there is an optional there is an option to add comments. I just went through again yesterday and had a look. What are the most recent comments we're having? Again, these are spontaneous. We're not asking people to do this. It's completely optional, but they are particularly mentioning, out of a vast variety of things that they could choose from, they are again mentioning Thrive as one of the key things. And I think the bottom right one, I think we should probably bottle that one in terms of helping someone actually get through a series of issues or challenges they were facing, and how much they would really recommend it. As we go on, we'll have a look at some of the coaching, the metrics or the data coming out of Thrive itself. We're getting the feedback. We're seeing huge amounts of satisfactions with the sessions, with the coach. We're also seeing a huge amount of people implementing actions agreed right within 1 week or within 1 day of each session. And we're now only seeing, I think it is less than 400 people who have never booked a session out of all of our key loopers, which is crazy and really shows how much people value it, want it, and use it. I think the secret sauce for this is, and my team will be fed up of me saying this, it's about banging the drum. It's about building this into your DNA as an organisation. So we regularly have webinars that we co-host. We've now built into our onboarding program. So as a new starter, instantly you are told or encouraged to register, use this within your first 90 days to help navigate that change, deal with any imposter syndrome, set the right goals, and make the best sort of first few months that you possibly can. And we're looking for other programs that we're building this into. So we've got a huge global program called Culture of Accountability at the moment, and we're supporting people through that by suggesting that they use Thrive to help them work through moments where they want to be more accountable. And finally, if we look through sort of some of the organisational metrics that we've got on the next page, you can see some of our stats from, this is looking very strange, but it's fine. Some of our engagement stats from the business, from both a financial and an HR perspective. Some of the key things we've been looking at, we've talked about eNPS already, but we're seeing an uplift on Glassdoor. And most importantly, financially, we're seeing a reduction in attrition. We are keeping our talent by providing Thrive coaching to people. So when they're thinking around, managing workload or career advancement, we can suggest thrivers as a way of talking them through that, supporting them and providing that safe space for them, which means we're keeping our talent, reducing recruitment costs, reducing that time to value that you get with new starters, which can only be a good thing. We've also seen that revenue growth and EBITDA growth, which we will continue to track. And as we come to the end, I've talked you through a lot in a huge amount of time, so I hope it's resonated. But for us, our next steps for us is to track a couple of things. We've built it into onboarding, so we want to track our new starters in terms of engagement and performance, that time to value. Those who are using it, so we want to see who's using it, who's not using it, what their performance is like, the A/B testing that Minna talks about. And now that we've got everyone, all of those 8 companies as one Keyloop together, we're starting now to think about how are we going to track performance and talent ratings alongside who is using coaching and who is not. And I know, because my gut tells me there will be a key correlation, but I'm looking forward to working on the data with my colleagues to prove that, because that's going to be really fundamental in continuing to build the case for this investment into Keyloop. So thank you for listening. Hopefully that's given you a good feel for what we've been doing and what we're planning on doing next.